Hi, welcome to My Messy Fingers. I'm Charlie. We are going to put together today a folio for a collection that I'm going to make. I had some leftover papers when I made a mini album featuring The Beach is Calling by Graphic 45. So with those extra papers, I'm going to make a folio, and this is the folio. So I'm going to give you some measurements. If you have a paper and pen handy, this is going to measure 8 by 8. Your longest piece that you're going to cut is the base. It is going to remain at 12 inches, but you're going to cut it by 8. Then you're going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 10 inch, and 11 inch. This will become your frame. You will tape here on these flaps. Sorry. The next piece, which is going to be your next longest piece, is going to measure at 10 inches, and you're going to score it at 1 inch, and you're going to score it at 2 inch. This is going to be your main flap for closing the folio. You will put tape on this side and it will tape to the back. From the pieces that you just cut, you're going to cut one that's going to measure 8 inches by 4 inches. And on this one, you're going to score it at 1 inch and 2 inch. This is going to come in under here, and it's going to close the folio. So this will become your framework. Now, for the inside of the folio, you are going to cut a pocket. It will go here. The pocket's going to be 3 inches by 7 7/8 because you want it to fit right in between these two score lines. When this is closed, you're going to have a left panel. This will need to measure 8 by 8. You will do nothing else with this, but you're going to tape it here. So this is going to open up like so. On this left side, you're going to cut a piece that's going to be 8 inches by 8, but you're going to score it at a half because it's going to come on the inside over the pocket. Okay? Now on the right side, that's your left side panel. On the right side, you're going to have another panel that will measure 8 inches by 7 7/8. Because when this is closed, you don't want it creating friction on this panel. Now, when this opens this way, you have it taped down. Hold on, let me get this in frame a little bit better. So when this is taped down onto this flap, you're going to cut a piece that's going to go right here next to that gusset line. Now, this is going to measure 8 inches by 7 3/4. You're going to score it at a half, and it's going to come just to the inside of this flap. So this way, when it opens like so. Am I putting that on the wrong side? Hold on. You're going to have another flap that's going to be over here. So it's going to measure 8 inches by 7 3/4, scoring it at 1/2 inch. And then I do believe, I think I gave you the wrong instructions. It's going to sit in here like this. Now you have 4 points of vulnerability with this, and it's staying sturdy. So you're going to cut 4 8-inch strips that measure 7 7/8, and they're going to get taped or glued right in here on that gusset. I'm using 100-pound cardstock, but as you add weight to this, you want to make sure that your framework is solid. So you're going to cut 4 of these, and they're going to fit into the framework. 1 on the top, 2 on each side, and then here. So once you get all that cut, let's come back and let's get going on putting this thing together. I think it'll make a little bit more sense when we do. Okay, I'm going to start off with placing the pocket. It's easier to do that when you're not messing around with all these flaps. So I'm going to come right up to this score mark, and it should fit perfectly right in between them. Now, I am going to before I put all this on, because it's easier to do it now, I'm going to put on my reinforcements in between, so that that's nice and sturdy. Now I'm going to do these 2 here real quick, and then I'll do the bottom one. And I see that I have some, well, that was silly. And now I'm going to place the one for the left side now that I'm done messing around fixing something. And then the one for the bottom. And then we'll put the entire framework together, and then we'll come back and do the flaps. Okay. So I am going to put the bottom flap on now. And I want to run it right, just a little off of that gusset. So this will start to come together this way. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. Put on the top flap. This will be our closing flap. Just in front of that score mark. And we are almost there. So this is kind of how it's going to come together for you, okay? Now we need to put these 2 flaps on before we can do anything else. So I'm going to take this tape off. Now I'm going to push back on this so that all I have exposed is the taped part of this. Boy, it's really sticky tape. I'm not sure why that came up short. Okay, and then this panel. Before I glue this, tape this in here. This one came up right. Same procedure. If I can get my fingers off the tape, I can manipulate this a little bit better. All right, so now your right side flap will go under, this will come over, and this will come over. And now there is your fully enclosed box. So let's go ahead and let's put this in. We want this piece to tape in. Oh, that should have gone down first. Oops. Quick, easy fix. I'm sorry. I had this all planned out and forgot that I needed to do this first. Okay, so I'm going to come in here just in front of that score line. Boy, I'm struggling to see my own work here. Goodness sakes. I'm just going to bend that cardstock. It's going to get covered. I don't care. You get to see a boo-boo in action here. And then we should not have a problem on the right side because they all get attached. So this is going to open this way. You're not putting anything on this, your left side panel, because it's going to lay on top. There's no room here to put any buildup other than putting in some photos or maybe an invitation to some event, depending upon what it is, because it's going to come over. Over here, I want this to mount right here. And then this one is going to mount to the right of it on this edge so that these open up as flaps. And then this one will come here. Okay, so here we have our two flaps over here. We have the one flap over here. I'm going to have to get in there and fix that. And then these, your right side will always close in first, then the left side, your bottom piece, your top piece, and then that's your full folio. The only thing that's missing right now are the magnets for keeping this thing closed. So let's get that taken care of. You're going to put two. You're going to put two sets, one on each side of this flap. And I'm using some basic gray magnets that Scrap and Create sent to me. If I can get into them. They have these things so really in here. They've got them baby-proofed. I feel like I'm at the pharmacy trying to get into something. Okay, it's easier, I think, to start with the base. I'm going to put it about there. And then I'm going to put the other one just about there. No perfect measurements for them. Okay. Now, I want to close this. I want to make sure this is as square as it can be. I just put those on the wrong side. Dad blast me. Hold on. I put them on the wrong side. I hope you didn't do anything with them yet. This is going to make them a little bit more difficult to stick now because I've used some undo. Okay, back to what I was saying. Make sure that this is all squared up in your framework, and then massage to get your magnets in place. It's not sticking for me because I use the undo, but you get it. I have to wait for this to dry a little bit for my magnets to go down. But once you get the magnets in place, you've got this closed up nice and square. There's your completed folio. Now in the next video, we will start to decorate this, so I hope to see you back then.